All right, today's the day that I start putting plywood sheets on the air wall. I'm calling it the air wall just because my air compressor is going to go here and my Delta Cyclone is going to go right there. And at some point, I'm going to have plenums up here. This whole part over here is going to be wood storage, and I may do wood storage above the door as well. You always end up with those really interesting scraps that you don't want to get rid of, but you have no place for. I'm going to have to go through here and do just a little bit of sanding. Almost nothing. Everything is really nice and flush. So I'm going to get that sanding done, and I'm going to clean up all this stuff over here. Then we'll get our first sheet, which is that one right there. I need to figure out my screw pattern. It's going to have extra screws in this area because of all the weight that's going to be on this wall. But I'll get back to you when we're working on the plywood. Okay, I lied. I am ready to start work on the panel, but I thought I'd show you this real quick. My grinding on this wall. This is the only place I had to do any grinding, and by grinding, I really mean grinding. I used a 36 grit belt on the belt sander and just took it right off. This board right here, all three of these pieces came from the same board, and it was twisted really bad. So when a board's twisted like that, when you're using it in construction like this, you'll be able to get 3 points nice and flush, but the one is going to be turned out. So that's the only place it needed grinding. And around the door, I did a little bit on this board right here. Just put some pencil lines on it and ground this down just a bit until it was flush with my jam. Same thing on that one. And the rest, I just took a disc sander with a very coarse grit sandpaper and went around it real quick and got rid of the mess from the foam and flushed everything up. And now we're ready to go. First thing I got to do, we're indexing from the top and from the left. So I got to flip my board over and mark out where these plates go and route that out. Once I got that done, I got to flip it back over and we'll figure out the screw pattern for these. Instead of like a single 4 screws going across, I'm going to double that up and stagger them to make use of the 2x6s. The other walls have 2x4 interior girts. This wall is the only wall, this entire wall, you could see that wall has 2x4 girts as well. This wall is going to hold a lot more weight. It's going to have the wood rack there and all the other stuff. So it has all 2x6s. All right, let's go get these plates marked and routed and then flip her over and we'll figure out the screw pattern. All right, for these measurements, I just screwed a cleat across that nail plate right there, and then I bring it down and I just get all my dimensions from the top, and then all I got to do is go over to my wood and cut it that way. So this one is going to be 46 3/4 and 50 1/4. And then from the side, all I'm going to do is kind of get my tape right on the line, and this one is 6 1/2. I'm just going to route all the way in. I'm not going to leave any wood for that because all of the other ones are going to have it routed all the way out. Okay, 6 1/2. Then we got one more to do and we'll go get this cut. Okay, 22 5/8, 26 1/4. 46 3/4, 50 1/4, 70 5/8 and 74 1/8. And unfortunately, I'm forced to use this big old clunker because I've misplaced my combination square, which is what I would usually use. Yeah, I do not like using this. I'm gonna have to go look for my combination square. These only have to be close. That bottom one was 7 1/2. This one is 6 1/2. Yeah. Kind of clumsy using this. All right, 7 3/4. Okay, time to route. Okay, I got all my holes drilled and I was ready to start putting this up, but while I was drilling the holes, I was thinking about the air cavities in the area down towards the bottom here. This right here is going to be for the motor mount for the dust collector, and that's going to transfer vibration down into this lower panel. The motor is going to be mounted up on that upper panel, and I planned on putting sound dampening vibration in these cavities here on this upper part. I keep forgetting about it, but I went and got the sound insulation out of the shed so that I wouldn't forget about it. But then I got to thinking, with that vibration being transferred down here, I should fill these as well. So it's going to take a while, but, well, let me show it to you. This is Ultra Touch Plus sound control system. We have this in the house. It works really good. We have this between a couple of the rooms. The problem is that this stuff is 3.5 inches thick, and we have 1.5 inches. So if I tear it in half, we're about 1/4 inch too thick, and this will compress. So I'm thinking I should be all right if I just tear it in half, but I don't know if it's going to tear in half real easy or not. So let me yank a piece of that out, and I should probably start with the hard stuff, start up there, and work my way down. I only need it up to this post, really, so yeah, I'll probably fill in this little area right here, and then those 2 full bays right there, and that should be plenty enough. This area right here is just going to have normal shop vibration transferred to the walls, and the 3/4 inch ply should absorb all that. So I'm not worried about this area. This area, though, I am definitely worried about, with this motor and the dust collector right up against the wall like that, one of them mounted to the wall. So let's pull this stuff out and see how it does. This stuff is made from old jeans. Let me see what it says. 80% recycled. Yeah, the trick behind reducing sound is to stop the vibration. Sound is vibration, and if you can stop the vibration, you can make something much quieter. I hate to rip this all the way open and then have to deal with this stuff expanding. See if I can get a piece out. I don't think so. This is 8 feet folded in half. Wow. Looks like I could use it just the way it is, but this stuff will expand out on you. And this stuff right here, you're supposed to put that on the wall between the drywall and the studs, but I don't know. I might use this for mounting the system, but I have a better idea for that, and I think I'll do my better idea. Yeah, that's about the right thickness already. And if this stuff were to expand out, there's at least another 1.5 inches on the other side of the insulation out there. I don't know. Let me try putting this in just the way it is. Okay, so I was cutting this stuff and I was looking at the stack, and the stack was getting bigger and bigger. It was starting to reconstitute itself. So I decided to just do the area where the panel's gonna go, and I'll do that for each panel, and then get the panel on so it can't get too thick where I can't get the panel on. Yeah, this is just fine right now. And all I needed was something to hold these into the opening, and a little bit of tape did that. So I'm gonna just make sure that none of this stuff is on the surface, and then we'll get this panel in. Yeah, that is gonna work out really nice for deadening the sound in this area. All right, my panel is right on my chalk line, and it's dead level. And then we come to this side, because all of the panels are going to be off of this side, and it is dead plumb. And on this side, it's right on the line there. So that is the exact spot it needs to be in. Now, just get one screw in there. And if you've seen the other videos, I'm using 2-inch screws, 2-inch construction screws in the field and along the edges and the top. And then anywhere it goes into a post, like right here, behind there is the post, I use 4-inch treated screws. And then at the bottom, because it's going into treated wood down there, I use a shorter treated screw. So let me get a few more screws in the middle here, and then we'll work our way to the other treated screws and stuff. All right, that's it for day one. Unbelievable that it took an entire day to get one panel in, but it is what it is. So now tomorrow, I'm hoping to get the rest of this wall in. I really hope I can do that. I only have to put sound insulation behind this panel here and that little bit, and then it's just a matter of putting panels in until I get to the corner, and that one needs some cutting. So with any luck, I'll get the rest of this lower part done tomorrow, and then I have to go and borrow a scaffold, set the scaffold up, and then I believe that's 3 pieces. There's 1, 2, yeah, there's 3 pieces up there, which are going to be a good deal more difficult, and one of them, or one whole panel, needs sound insulation behind it. So yeah, this is probably going to take 4 days, may go into 5 days, but we'll get her done.